After that, 1000 BC. In 1000 BC, before 1000 in BC, there was nothing like pen to write or nothing like paper to write, right? And that too, writing skill was also not there before 1000 in BC. In the year 1000 in BC, this thing came in the world, and in India, in Indus Valley, that was in little late, that was approximately 5000 BC. Means in India, it was from 1000 BC to 5000 BC, where people actually learned how to write whatever they are speaking. They could have made some pictures, they could have made some design, but they were not able to write A, B, C, D or K, K, G, G. I hope you are understanding this. So at that time, that era was known as 1000 BC. In a short, if you do understand that how Ramayana was written, Mahabharata was written, or Vedas were written, they were not written anywhere. They were learned. So that was the basically difference between tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge. So in the year 1000 in BC till 500 BC, whatever was learned at that time, that was codified in the form of something writing, and that is why the time is known as what? The age of learning. Now I am coming to the main part. Main part is this, that after Jesus Christ, which is known as what? Before Jesus and after Jesus. After Jesus Christ is known as era of emotions. Before era of emotions, there were no emotions even with blood relations. If I am having my many kids, then too I do understand that these all the kids are actually there to serve the king of my kingdom. This was the thought, and king was having full right, or not only on me and on to any of my belongings. So this was the main concept, because the thing was this, that in the mindset was this, that either the king is the god or king is the nominated by the god to rule on us. So Jesus Christ given a message that king is neither god, king is neither the messenger of god. Ask me, I am the son of god, and they are not having anything. So he was crucified by some Jews kingdoms, but the message was very clear that from that particular angle, from that particular, there was a sharp introduction of emotions, that people were feeling emotions for their belongings, for their kids, for their wife, for their family. And then after, so many things happened. Age of enlightenment in UK also, in British countries also, and in India also. We know this industrial revolution was something which was very important for some European countries, by virtue of which they were able to rule in many countries of the world. Then after, so many things related to the management that was introduced, management by objective. I hope some of you might be knowing about it. Centralization, decentralization, automation, then downsizing, then market valuation. This era, in which we are living now, starting from 2080, this is known as what? The knowledge management, where we talk about the education 4.0, where we talk about industry 4.0, where we talk about artificial intelligence 1.0. So this is which has already been there. What is the message what we are getting? What the message we are getting is this, that everything depends upon the thinking of a human being. Everything depends upon the thinking of a human being. Definitely that thinking depends upon so many parameters. That thinking also depends upon the facilities and the environment in which we are living. But this is 100% sure that whatever happened till now, that was totally dependent upon the thinking of a human being. When we talk about the human being, you all know that we all are having human body, and this physical part is known as what? The brain. In this particular brain, there is a assumption that there is some soul. There is some soul in between our this brain. When a baby is born, in that time when a baby is generated through sex, it is said that some soul, some special kind of soul, is given to the human body. So this is the brain with a special kind of soul with all the human body, and it becomes mind whenever thinking passes through it. Whenever we try to pass thinking from this particular physical part, it becomes the brain. And this brain is with all the human beings. You are also having it, I am also having it, we all are having it. So this is concrete something, and in that particular concrete brain, we are adding something which is 100% related to something which we are not knowing about it. But what is the crux after this? The crux is this, that all the human beings are unique and critical. What I mean to say, that you are different than me, I am different than some other person, and that some other person is different than some other person. And this is 100% sure that we are unique and we are critical. What do you mean by the unique? Unique means we are different from one another. We all are different, and critical means we are very difficult to handle. So these are the two words which is always there. with all the human beings that we are unique and critical. You might be knowing that animals are not that much critical. You can train a tiger, you can train a dog, you can train any kind of animal, and that set of rules are also somewhat similar kind of. But to train a human being, it is very difficult. So therefore, to control a person's thinking is very difficult. Now the question comes that why we are having such kind of unique thinking, why we are having such kind of critical thinking. The answer is this, that it depends upon number of factors. I am repeating, it depends upon number of factors. So number of factors, when those number of factors are integrated, it becomes human thinking, right? And that factor depends upon age and stage. What I'm saying, age is dependent upon time. And stages means if something is good happening with you or something is not good happening with you, at that time, stage, in which stage you are, that is also a factor where your thinking depends upon. So if you understand this basic concept, what I mean to say here, please try to understand it very critically, that on the x-axis you say that if I am example, and I am increasing my age on x-axis, and on y-axis I am trying to measure my thinking. I have already written it in the slides that you can see that it is not measurement. I am not saying that it is a measurement, but just say that it is a measurement. Just for example, then any human being thinking may follow any kind of pattern or characteristics as I am showing it in the form of A, B, C, or D, E, F, anything. And at any stage, at the stage when I was 2 years old, when I was 5 years old, when I was 10 years old, when I was 15 years old, 30 years old, 45 years old, or 60 years old, 75 years of old, at any stage, if you try to measure my thinking, it depends upon some factors. And what I'm saying that when you add all those factors, it becomes my thinking at that particular age. I hope you understand, at that particular stage. And in that particular stage also, because of the external environment, number of stages could be there, which are there to develop or to change or to give some impulsive impetus to our thinking. Now question becomes that which are those factors? Those factors are two factors are there. Although there are five factors, but because of scientific tools, we will discuss more only about the two tools. We will not go about the three more parameters which are associated here. So now, if you ask me, sir, which are those parameters? If you ask for which are those parameters 2 plus 3, which are responsible to generate any person's thinking and to give some idea about the thinking of any human being. So those factors are two factors which are known by anyone. Number one is the attitude, and number two is the aptitude. My attitude and my aptitude, which is changing from the year when I was born till the time when I am alive in the earth, in the world. I am also changing my attitude. I am also changing my aptitude. Definitely, it depends upon the external factors. Definitely, it depends upon many things, many relations in under which we are living, we are having relations. But these are the main two important part. You can say that 80% of our thinking depends upon the attitude and aptitude which we have inculcated in us. Now, if you ask me, sir, what about the 20%, which we will not discuss after this particular slide? If you ask me, sir, what are those 20 factors? So those factors, the 20% factors are basically impulsive and intuitive in nature. Intuition. If you are getting some intuition, if you are having some power to understand, you are proactive that what may happen if I do this. If if you have fixed your thinking that your thinking is going, you are going to buy this particular product, or you are thinking that in this way only you are going to talk to this particular person. But to at that spur of moment, you are changing your mind and you are going to some other way. Then what I will be saying that your attitude was fixed. Your attitude was fixed, but that impulsive movement came because of these three factors. And those three factors are, number one is the RNA, that is something genetic. Our thinking also depends upon our family, our parents, our biological parents. And we are still doing research on it. That something is there in the RNA. It is coming from our forefathers. And according to that, we are having something fixed in my mind that I know that this we have to do, but we are doing this. why we are doing this, but it was there, which was unknown to me, which was unknown to me. Now, how can you control this particular kind of impulsive thinking? Just to know. If you know that this is there in yourself, you are imbued with it, you can have a little control about it. But we are not going to discuss more about this particular fact. Number two is the soul science. Now, what is the soul science? Soul science is this, that if you believe that there is a soul in our mind, then soul is also having some intelligence. Now, on what parameters that particular intelligence is depending upon, it also depends upon so many things. Again, we will not discuss it. You can control it with the level 2 kind of meditation. Number three is the last one, astrology. Definitely with the movement of some different kind of electromagnetic masses which are there surrounding with the earth, in which you can also talk about number of planets. When you talk about astrology, the movement of those planets also affect on us, that can be controlled by the meditation level number one. So these all the three factors, when you talk about that, the RNA factor, the soul science factor, or the astrology factor, if we understand, if we try to feel it, that these are the constant, these all the factors are constant, and after that we are not going to discuss about these factors, then there are only two main factors are left which are going to decide our thinking. Number one is the attitude, and number two is the aptitude. And when we add all these, both of these two, it becomes what? It becomes the behavior which you can analyze in myself, and that behavior is ultimately giving impact on my personality. You can understand, you meet me, you say sir, personality is good. Personality doesn't mean that the body wise personality, my personality is good, and definitely personality what you are seeing, that is dependent upon the behavior. And that behavior is what the core of that particular behavior, which you can see, which you can analyze in me, that is coming from the attitude and aptitude which has been generated in myself from the year 2 years onwards. So now coming to the next slide, when we say about the formation of the attitude, which is ultimately going towards the devotion. Devotion is bhakti, right? So when you talk about the formation of the attitude, which is ultimately going to the devotion, which is also linked with the hard work in you, and when you add with the formation of the aptitude with you, which is ultimately going with the intelligence, gyan, intelligence, gyan, bhakti and gyan. When you add these two, that is the devotion and the acumen, it is again what my behavior, what I am going to show you, how I am going to handle any problem in my life. So therefore, as you can see again on the x-axis, on the h bar, you can see if we start it from the year 2 years, then till some time we are having multiple intelligence. Multiple intelligence means I am developing my intelligence in all those directions. I am not knowing that what is my skill, but then too I am developing it. I am not saying that I am developing it knowingly. It has been developed. Why? Because we are human body. God has generated our body in such a way that we are having our multiple intelligence. Many psychology people, they conduct MI test, that is multiple intelligence test, at this particular stage, and there are so many tests which are involved, psychological tests are involved, by virtue of which we try to understand that this particular person is made for what particular line. If you go for the career counselor, they conduct different kind of tests, so that they come to know that science is good for you or art is good for you. If art is good for you, what kind of stream will be good for you. After that, after some particular age, say 16 to 18, which is known as the age of adult, focus thinking, that is at the highest point. Although focus thinking, that starts something which is maybe something at some earlier stage, but focus thinking means that you are focused that this you want to become. You want to get admission in IIT. You want to become an IAS officer. So this is what focus thinking. That focus thinking is definitely coming from the multiple intelligence. But in the multiple intelligence, you are not knowing any specific field where you want to develop yourself. But in the focused intelligence, you know that these are the 1, 2, or 3 major field where you want to start your career with. And when you start your career, when you are successful in this particular career, I am using this word, when you are successful in your career in only one stream. I am a good electrical engineer, and I am successful in one particular field. If I am not a good electrical engineer, my thinking will maximum be developed only to the focus thinking. It will never go to the third stage of conceptual intelligence. When I say that I am now having a good understanding of any one subject, then again God has made our thinking in such a way that we develop our thinking automatically. We develop our thinking in different areas in which we have that particular stream we have never studied before. What I mean to say that if you are a very good electrical engineer, after the age of 35 or after the age of 40, automatically you will start learning about medical science. Automatically you will start learning about anthropology. Automatically you will start learning about psychology. So this is what when your mind actually develops in the horizontal line. This is known as what the conceptual intelligence. So all of these things which I am talking to you, these all are pragmatic. Nothing which are in some other stage or flow. Everything is practical. Everything we are finding it. We are getting it in our practical life only. Now, little discussion about the attitude and aptitude. This is also very important to understand. Attitude and aptitude. Now, try to understand in this way that you are all a faculty member. Some of you must be married. Some of you must be having some kids. If you are having kid, if you are having a boy with you, son with you, and if you are having a daughter with you, that is the best combination to understand the attitude and aptitude of a human being. How God has designed it, that how it is developed, and you can understanding it just only having a very good observation how a boy and a girl is grown up. Now, when you talk about the first stage of the attitude, recognizing people, item, function with names. When a baby is born, he understands that she is my mother. She is my mother. What she is doing with you. Mother introduces, or mother says, "Now he is your father." He understands that he is the father. Small baby in some pot try to understand that this is a fan is moving, this is air condition which is there, which is giving me something. So this is the first stage when you try to understand recognizing people and item. Okay, this is happening in both the cases when you talk about the attitude or when we talk about the aptitude. Now when you talk about the norm is the first stage which is ultimately going towards attitude, how you are going to develop your attitude. The responsibility of parents, the responsibilities of teachers are also very important in developing your attitude, in norms, values, and beliefs, in which, in short, we say it as a NBB. Norm, this is the norm, this is the standard, this is going to happen. He is your father, this is the norm. Sun is rising from this particular direction, this is the norm. This is night now, you will have to sleep, this is norm. This is something which you have to eat. Don't mix it something which is not good for health wise. This is a norm. So all those things these kids are already learning, whether it is a boy or whether it is a girl with you. They all are learning, and who is teaching it? You are teaching it. Other external factors, they are teaching it, that what is happening with them. Then after comes the values. Values means what? He is your father. Go and touch his feet. See, this is something you will have to give. This is the value. How you will have to talk to your teacher, respected ma'am or respected sir. This is how you will have to write. Who is telling it? You are telling it. Parents are telling it. Environment is telling them. Friends are telling them. So this is how the first stage norms is added with something like values. So generally, norms is from the age of 2 to 5. We will not discuss it more about it because it is a psychological part. And then after from 5 to 8 years, we are generally developing some values part. And after values, we come to the belief. Belief is totally related with some religious point of view, some God. You believe, you go to a masjid, you go to mandir, you go to gurudwara, temple, mosque, or gurudwara. You can go to any place. This is the God. You will have to sit with them with folded hand. These are the things how will you have to do. These are the prayers you will have to conduct. In the morning you will have to say, God can do this. God is watching you. Don't do anything which is not accepted to the society or accepted to the God. Buddham sharanam gacchami, sangam sharanam gacchami, dharmam sharanam gacchami. This is what you have to do. So this is how, if you are ready for it, that right, this is the belief, and then something concrete is generated in your mind, that is the amalgamation of norms, values, and beliefs. Right, depending upon different religion, you can have different type of thinking, and you 100% believe that if you are not doing it, something wrong may happen, because God is nowhere, God is only in your brain. So this is how we develop our attitude. In some resume we write that we are God fearing person. Why? Because we want to show that we have developed a high level of attitude, and that attitude is ultimately related with the your morale, and your hard work, your motivation and hard work. So even if you take a good example with you, take the example of Abdul Kalam ji, or if you take a bad to bad example with you, any terrorist who is ready to ready with so many bombs inserted in his body and going to some crowd and just pushing a button by after which it will be explode. At that time also, whatever the motivation is required, whatever the hard work was required, you have bring it. For what? To satisfy your beliefs, to satisfy your religion, to satisfy your norms, values, and beliefs. So everything, whether you talk about the best to best example or you talk about the worst to worst example, whatever motivation is there, whatever hard work you are ready to do, it 100% depends upon the what kind of attitude you have generated. Now, this is ultimately a foundation work for the devotion. Devotion means the bhakti, basically. Now coming to the other side. On the other side is also developing parallelly with it. At the age of 5 years, left hand side is also developing and right hand side is also developing. And when these two are added, integrated, then your basic thinking is developed. On the other side, what is this? The baby is known that this is a fan. Now this is a fan. This is fun thing. First step, what he is knowing, what he or she is knowing. And if in some particular room, if 4 fans are there, he is counting it. Number one, number two, number three, number four. He says that 4 fans are there. This is what the data generation. Data generation has started in the mindset of that particular kid. He's saying that this is the brown color fan, this is the white color fan. Again, the data collection is there. When he is understanding the information, basic information that when you will press this particular switch, the fan will start revolving and it will give you some thunder, something cold it will give you. For what this purpose is. This is what? This is known as what? The information. And knowledge. What is the knowledge? If you totally understand that how the function is, this fan is functioning, which may happen at the age of 16 or age of 18, that there is a one capacitor, this capacitor is splitting a phase. And the input is not single phase, it is a double phase, which is inserted into the fan. After that, it is a moving. Why it is? There is a motor, and that particular motor is actually moving with a single phase, which has been supplied by the double phase. And you are able to understand. You are having the complete knowledge of this particular fan or anything, say car or TV or understanding of human being, of a leadership, whatever is there. If you understand it, what I will be saying that you are having a data as far as you are having information, as far as you are having a knowledge, and this is going to develop your aptitude. Try to understand the word aptitude. The companies who are coming for the campus placement, they are conducting aptitude tests. They want to understand how your brain is generated. One train is coming from left hand side, another train is coming from right hand side. This is happening after 30 seconds or 30 minutes. At what time they will meet together? You will have to solve two equations for this. This is what the aptitude test. Right? These are the boxes, and you will have to design these boxes that ultimately you get this. This is what the aptitude test. And what is the basis of that particular aptitude test is data, information, and knowledge. And ultimately, when you know something, when you think that I'm a very good mechanic, I can repair any kind of fan or I can repair any kind of AC, and this is what the development of a skill set. By having a skill by virtue of which I can earn some money. I can convert that particular skill in my professionalism, and ultimately it is going to make your acumen. Your acumen will give you some output of it. So these two things are moving parallel with your it. Now, as I've already spoken, this is the particular brain. From brain, we are having a flow of thinking. Flow of thinking where? In mind. Mind is having two parts, aptitude and attitude, which is going to reflect in my behavior. And that particular behavior is ultimately going for a personality that we have already seen. From acumen and from devotion, what we are going to develop are wisdom. Wisdom, self actualization, the wisdom. But only one new thing in this particular slide is this, that on one side we are having developing an idea, and on other side what we are having a discover an idea. Discovering an idea is very important as a base of design thinking. So that is why I have covered these so many things, so that because you can understand what is the basics of the designing of a thing. You know about the developing an idea, you know about the discovering an idea. Other things we will be seeing in this particular slide. You all must be knowing about vertical thinking and the horizontal thinking. Horizontal thinking, which is also known as what? The lateral thinking. What is the vertical thinking? Vertical thinking is coming from the knowledge which we have gained, from the aptitude which we have measured within ourselves. What is this? 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. This is what vertical thinking. So many logics are there. We are taking solution of the concerned problem from those facts, from those logics. And I'm saying that this will happen. Why? Because we are having a scientific proof behind it to support this particular business idea or any business, any idea. This is coming by virtue of what? Vertical thinking. And horizontal thinking is what? Horizontal thinking, that I understand that 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. But in this particular case, 2 plus 2 is not equal to 4. 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. Why? I'm not saying that some logics are behind there. Logics might be there. But apart from there, my experience is there. My emotions are there. I understand the word. I say that if you will make 2 plus 2, although you are very intelligent, but the work will not done. It will not happen. Why? Because you will have to think beyond the thinking of a person. So this is basically when we talk about the quotient on the vertical thinking, when we talk about actually the intelligence quotient, IQ, on the other side, we talk about the social quotient linked with emotional quotient, linked with adversity quotient. So that is why now I hope that you can have some glimpse of some idea that what is the development of an idea and what is the discovering of an idea. Right? And the main fact is this, that till a particular age, say 30 years of age or 35 years of age, we are more towards vertical thinking. And after the age of 35 years, we are more towards horizontal thinking. Till 35 years of age, whatever changes you want to make in me, it is possible. Why? Because I'm ready to learn. But after the age of 35, it may be difficult for me to learn something new. Why? Because the development of my horizontal thinking that has started. Now, coming to the next part is what the convergent thinking and the divergent thinking. Convergent thinking, divergent thinking, convergent and divergent. Convergent, when so many factors are there, effects are there in the environment, and they are giving me some idea. Linked with what? Linked with vertical thinking only. Right? And when we talk about the divergent thinking, is I know something out of my experience. I am telling you that this is fine, that what you are saying, that is a solution, but there could be some more solutions which are available in the market. So you can go and you can also talk about it. So what we say that every problem is having a solution. When you say that every problem is having a solution, then it is definitely something related with the vertical thinking. But when you say that every problem is having more than one solution and you will have to choose the one, it is what? It is the horizontal thinking. And when you say that you will have to choose the one, it means you need the amalgamation of both. That is the vertical thinking as well as the horizontal thinking. I hope you understand this. This is what the basics of idea generation. Basics of idea generation. In idea generation, we need what? Conversion also. We convergence also. We also know about the divergent. I hope you understand this particular slide. In the next, we will talk, lastly, we will talk about something more about attitude and aptitude. You know, if you are having very high quality of attitude, with the change in your age, you can also develop your aptitude. And when you are having a high level of aptitude, you can also develop your attitude. That is why if you say, sir, this is in my mind, and actually what is happening, that attitude is something, I am very hardworking, but I'm not very intelligent. Hard working is coming from attitude, but you are not very intelligent. Right? So that means with hard work, if you say that I can develop my intelligence, and this is what from attitude I can develop my aptitude. If my aptitude is very good, my knowledge is very good, but then too I don't know how to talk with other person, what the ethics I should follow, then too from aptitude you can learn what your attitude. So you will have to develop, maintain balance between the attitude and aptitude. A successful person is only that person who is having an attitude and aptitude at the same end. You know, in Mahabharata also, when this question was asked from Devvrat, that what is important, either attitude is important, aptitude is important. The answer was something like this: a mixture of these two are very important, because these two are basically the wings of a bird, right? So this is very important. You know, in any quarrelsome, in any kind of fight, if you see that people are fighting with each other, what do we say? You all are educated people. Why are you fighting? What we try to give the message: you are an educated person, means you are having aptitude with you, you are having knowledge with you, but you are not having attitude with you. So why you are not having attitude also with you? Right? So many examples I can quote, but because of the lack of time, I will have to run up, because in design thinking is something in which some exercises are also over there. I want you also to become a trainer of design thinking. So ultimately, it is responsible for what? For qualities also, for characteristics also, for achievements also, for satisfaction also. Now, for every person, for you also, there must be some qualities, there must be some characteristics, there must be some achievements which you have done till now. And now it depends upon it that whether those achievements are at the level of your satisfaction or not. But ultimately, this is 100% correct, that quality with you, achievements which are definitely with you, and only the satisfaction level which is with you or which is not with you, that only depends upon person to person. When we say about the quality, you know what is the difference upon quality and characteristics? There is no way to interact with you, but then to I tell you what is the difference between the quality and characteristics. Some of you might be from the engineering background, or otherwise you must have studied in your BSc. We draw the characteristics of diode. We draw the characteristics of transistor. What we are doing it? What is basically characteristics? Characteristics are those qualities which are dependent upon some parameter. In characteristics of transistor or diode, at what time what we are doing? We are having a parameter. That parameter could be anything, maybe temperature. On the other hand, maybe pressure, maybe time, any parameter. Right? So quality is not depending upon any parameter, and characteristics is depending upon some parameter. I give you some other example. Say if I am a hardworking, this is my quality. But when I say I'm adding one parameter in this, changing parameter in this, and that time that changing parameter is time. When I say that I am hardworking from last 5 years, or from last 4 years, or last 10 years, last 20 years, the same quality of hardworking becomes my characteristics. I hope you are understanding it. When I say that I'm a proactive, this is my quality. But if I claim that I can also make all of my team members proactive, then what will we are saying? This is my characteristics. So what is important? Quality is important or characteristics is important? Both are important in anyone's thinking, anyone's behavior. Right? If I pretend that I'm a very nice person, this is my quality. That you met me once, and I say that if I say that what I was thinking that I'm saying that on the time parameter, when we say that this is my characteristics, okay, this is not clear. Now, when you say that these are the qualities with you and these are the characteristics with you, and now depending upon your qualities and your characteristics, you have achieved something. You have become IAS officer, or you were selected in IIT. You are a very good engineer. You have become very good yoga teacher. You have become whatever. That is your achievement with you. You are teaching in some private college. That is also achievement with you. You have become to the position of professor, associate professor, assistant professor, achievement with you. Now the question becomes that whether you are also satisfied with that particular achievement or not. Whether you are satisfied with that particular achievement or not, because the definition of satisfaction is nowhere written. It again depends upon person to person. What is the satisfaction level? But this is 100% sure. If you are having very good thinking of all these three parameters, attitude, aptitude, and something which we are talking about, you can define your satisfaction at your level. Satisfaction is what? If I get 10 rupees today, maybe that is my satisfaction level. And you are getting 1,000 rupees today, and that is not a satisfaction level for you. I have achieved something, that is achievement for you, that is success level for you. But you have achieved so many things, but then too you have not satisfied, maybe that is not a satisfaction level for you. So what I need to do, I need to align my qualities with characteristics. If I do it, good and very good. If you cannot do it, you will have to practice for it on depending upon the thinking. So many factors, so many exercises are there. Then after, if you are totally knowing your qualities and characteristics, you are a person of a value, then you can convert yourself to a successful person, achieving yourself something. Because you are having confidence also with you, you are also having knowledge with you. Confidence is coming from where? From attitude. And knowledge is coming from where? From aptitude. You are having all those things. And no, nothing impulsive or attitudinal shift is moving there. Why? Because other factors are constant. So this is why this totally behavior and personality depends upon a box in which qualities, characteristics, achievement, and satisfaction that should be aligned. Now you are a person on the left-hand side, as you can see, and you want to become a successful person. Meanwhile, in between, some development work is required. And that development work is what? TLPC. What is TLPC? Here I am going to tell you the seed of the design thinking. TLPC, T depends upon the thinking, whatever is your thinking. Now, depending upon your thinking, you are learning. Why you are here? Why you are here to attend such kind of session? Why? Because you want to learn. Why you want to learn? Because your thinking is allowing it. Your thinking is saying to go and attend this particular session. I may understand that some of you are here only for the certificates, because if you are here only for the certificates, then it is totally depending upon your thinking. That particular certificate is going to give you some value in your career. Everything, whenever, whatever we are learning it. Why? Because my thinking is allowing me, pushing me to learn it. When we learn it, after that, what? Do we practice it or we don't practice it? Practice makes a man perfect. This quotation is not like that only. Practice. If you want to show your skill to the highest level, you will have to do practice, whatever you have learned. It starts from the beginning stage, from the year, from when you are in second class, third class, fourth class. Then also it starts with. And when you practice it so many times, you become Arjuna of Mahabharata. You practice it so many times, and you are having a capability in yourself. That's what you say that now I am having the seed of a design thinking. Now I can design, I can solve problems, whichever is there in my peripheral. I can solve that. And trust me, in human mind, these all four go together. Go together. It is not like this that just only at one time only thinking will develop, then on only you think about learning. If thinking is developing that you want to become a film star, then definitely you are at the same time you are also thinking about learning. How will you learn about it? And when you will learn, how will you practice about it? And then you will practice about how will you generate capability in you. So this is what. And once you say that this core section is completed, you are having thinking, you are having learning, you are having practice, you are having capacity. Then after you develop creativity in you. What is creativity? That we will see in the coming slides. Then after, because since my field is entrepreneurship, I totally actually move it to the side of entrepreneurial development, entrepreneurial thinking. Then entrepreneurial alertness is there. Alertness of entrepreneurship, where you can understand the opportunities which are existing in the market. And when you try to grab, embrace any opportunity, and you move ahead in the journey of entrepreneurship, you become big. So this is what we develop the entrepreneurial development. Definitely, it is a complex function, but in this particular way, if you move with having a proper checklist, any person can become entrepreneur. Now coming to one more important side, why this slide is very important is because the definition of design thinking says that you are there to solve a problem. That problem could be anyone, any animal's problem, any societal problem, any environmental problem. It could be any problem related with the business, maybe any problem to develop in your product, or maybe any problem to develop the design, or any problem to develop your process of your business. We all are human beings. We all know about the cognitive thinking. We are having a cognitive thinking, and that's with that particular cognitive thinking. There are 4 stages by which we try to understand, we try to solve a problem whichever we face, maybe societal problem or maybe any problem. So that is what this is also a business idea generation, what you can say. If you want to come to entrepreneurial line and if you are having a business idea, it is a good enough, fair enough. But if you are not having a business idea and you say, sir, I am not having a business idea, please try to make something in me and I can develop some business idea. If you say, sir, you want to develop some business idea, then these 4 stages are very important, right? So first is the problem. Problem is there. Problem is there since we are born in this particular planet, Mother Planet Earth. Problem is always there. Saying this that it was easy to do business 50 years before or 100 years before, it is easy to say, but it is not easy actually to implement at that time. Whatever the problems were there in the society at that time, 50 years before, 100 years before, it is still existing. Some other problems maybe still existing. You can also have number of options to select with that which problem you want to select. And who will tell you? Society. Society will only tell you, not tell you verbally. You will have to observe it. That is the first thing from in the design thinking. Maybe that problem is aware about your future customers, or maybe they are not aware about that particular problem. If they are aware about that problem, it is easier for you to generate your market. But if they are not aware about the problem, you will have to aware them. So this is again something which is related with the entrepreneurial thinking. And after when you analyze and you finalize that this is the problem you are going to solve, try to understand whether this is an opportunity or not. How will you try to understand in an exact scientific way that whether this is an opportunity or this is not an opportunity? That can be done only through the SWOT framework. SWOT framework, we all know that is the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats or challenges. Threats or challenges which are there with all kind of problem. If you are going to solve a particular problem, opportunity, that is definitely an opportunity. You will have to analyze that whether it is a right opportunity, it may click into the market or it may not click into the market. When you understand this is a problem is there, opportunities are so there, not the demand. You will have to understand that demand is actual and you will have to create it. If demand is actual, automatically market will be there. But if the demand is not actual, you will have to create the demand. It may happen in the case when people are not aware about the problems they are facing. So from the client's point of view, you will have to understand it. You will have to observe your client. You will have to do everything for your client. You will have to listen to them to understand whether there is a demand or there is not a demand. Then you pass through with all these three, then the ultimate is your capability. Your capability means maybe your or maybe the capability of your team. You are having competence. You are having a core competence to solve this particular capability, to take the advantage of this particular opportunity or not, or to give solution to that particular problem or not. So this is what a very common term which we use in the startup world, that is known as what PFF, problem founder fit. Founder from the thinking point of view. Thinking is giving you capability. Why? Because it is the attitude and aptitude, mixture of these two. And that particular problem is linked with you or not. Because in the pitch deck also, if we will get time and we reach to the point of the pitch deck, and we talk about, when you start giving idea about your business idea, so which is known as elevator pitch. At that time also, investor or any business incubations, they try to understand that whether you are associated mentally also with the problem you are going to solve with your business idea or not. So I hope this is very much clear to you, starting from the cognitive thinking. Now this is another slide. When you talk about design thinking, you will have to understand all these terms also. As we have already discussed, this is the human being, this is the brain. This brain is having a special kind of spirit, and we are having a thinking. That thinking is a human thing. It becomes mind. Every mind is having cognitive thinking. Cognitive, the term of this cognitive, the meaning of this term cognitive, that you can very well you can see in the dictionary, but it is a basic thinking. You can observe, you can see, you can analyze something. If you are able to do it, this is the cognitive thinking with you. Now it starts from the first stage. Now the first stage is this, that you are having a cognitive thinking, but it is prominent or not. If you are having a focused thinking, which is leading towards you towards the success. You want to become a good professor in your university, your thinking is focused, and this is a success for you. You want to get a good government job, this will happen only if you are having a focused thinking and you are successful. Many of you must have given examination of IAS or PCS or state administrative services. You may have selected. If you are not selected, why you have not been selected? Those who have selected, whether they were having better knowledge with you in comparison of you, whether they were well known in comparison of you, may or may not be. If they are not, but then too they are selected. Why? Because they were having focused thinking. And maybe you are not having a focused thinking. You may not agree with my this statement. Definitely you will not agree, because all the human beings are unique and critical. But this is actually the fact. For every success, you need to have a focused thinking. But after success, if you want to become a creative person, you need to have a creative thinking. Now, what is creative thinking? It can simply be asked, if I ask you the difference between creativity and innovation. Anything new you are going to develop, or anything new you are going to add on something, that everything is known as what? The creative. It is not innovation, it is creative. If you can make a different kind of scenery to paste in your wall, you are a creative person. If you can make something new, you are a creative person. Something was already there, you are going to append some more features in that particular thing. You are a creative person. You can design it, you are a creative person. It doesn't mean that you are innovative. You will innovative only when that particular creativity is commercialized. Either it is commercialized directly, or it is ready for commercialization on the base of IPR, intellectual property right. You are ready for commercialization, maybe through trademark, maybe through copyrights, maybe through patents, design thinking, or maybe through any kind of GI, maybe any kind of trade agreement, whatever you make. In any of the IPR, it is ready for the commercialization, and to that creativity becomes innovation. And the last one, when your particular creativity is utilized in any commercialized process, then to what I say, that is innovation. The making of bulb first time, it was not innovative, it was creative. But when it was commercialized, it became what? The innovative. I can give you some more examples, but I hope that you are a senior faculty members, you understand what I mean to say. As soon you say that my creativity has been commercialized, then what is then in your mind? That it is not innovative thinking. And when you say that you can sell one, then why not 100? Why not 1,000? Why not 500? Whenever you say that you are ready for testing it in a first group of customers, it becomes entrepreneurial thinking. And this is what the seed for what? Business idea generation. Once your business idea is generated, now other things you can do with your team or with your mentor. You can go for the viability test, feasibility test, sustainability test, which we'll be discussing in the coming slides. And once you say you finalize that this is the business idea you are going to form, you are going to ahead, then after you can make a pitch deck. What is the pitch deck? Pitch deck is in between 10 to 15 PPT or PDF slides in which you try to explain your business idea. That is all. Previously, we used to make business plans or project reports. Nowadays, in the startup world, what we are doing, we are making pitch deck. Pitch deck is, again, I'm saying it is a 10 to 15, in between 10 to 15 slides, maybe in PPT, in which you try to understand, you try to explain what your business idea is. To whom you will explain? To the ecosystem, in which incubation centers are there, acceleration centers are there, investors are there, your partners are there, your mentors are there, many more. Right? So I hope this slide is clear to you. If this slide is clear to you, trust me, you are ready to understand everything about the design thinking. Now, platform is prepared. Now, first thing is this, that activities to check. First of all, whenever you are doing it as a trainer of your trainees, you will have to understand the check, activities to check, that understanding problem from the market and your thinking. That is again the problem founder fit, which we have already discussed. That is there in the core. And how will you do it? Simply, this is a very simple form. You can do it, you can file it, or you can ask people to whom you are going to conduct training. That particular person, you can make such kind of table and ask them to fill it. This is, maybe say that activity number 1A, exercises problem statement, priorities. The question is only this, you will have to write down the problems you want to solve. That problem could be anything. I'm repeating, that problem could be anything. Just write those problems. Do not give priority right now. Just write the problems you will have to solve in the second column. Problem could be anything. You want to remove Blackboard. You want to have a new education policy. You want to remove something like pen. You want to remove the head of your RWA. You are not happy with it. You want to have some different kind of education system in the school world. You want to have some different kind of supply chain. For particular thing, say sanitization, you want to have some other kind of training program, or you are having some other kind of recruitment process you want to have. Whatever the problems you think that you are facing or the society is facing, just write down it. Then after, give them priority. Firstly, you will give the priority, thinking will shift. So what is better? Better is this, as go for just start writing about the problem. Then after, give them the priority. If you give the priority, give them 5 minutes time and then ask them that do you have the solution for it or not. They may write it just like yes, no, or partial. Let them write. If this is not necessary that 5 problems they will have to solve, they will have to write over here. If they want to write only 1, it is also fine. If they want to write 2, that is also fine. But maximum 5. Don't ask them to write more than 5. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand that particular person's thinking. Now, the second part is this, that ask them that in which they are good. They are good in setting agenda. They are good in remembering data. They are good in emotional. They are good in analytical, logical, whatever they are good. So for you right now, you will have to understand these terms only. If you understand these terms only, I will have a perception that you will be able to give priorities in yourself or among your mentees or your trainees also. You must have a proper understanding of these all the words. How many words are there? Total 3 columns and 6 rows, total 18. So 18 terminologies you understand that people are good in which all out of these 18. Right? If you think that you have find out, you will be able to understand and you will be able to do this particular exercise, this is the exercise. This is the exercise. Exercise is what? In this particular exercise, you will have to write numbers 0, 1, and 3. 0 is for no. If you think that you are not creative, just write 0. If you think that you are satisfactory in creativity, just write 1. If you think that you are strong enough, just write 3. If you think that you are positive in your life, just write 3. If you think that you are somewhat positive in your life, just write 1. If you think that you are not positive in your life, maybe at any times you feel depression or something like that, you are not able to sleep, you are having high anxiety level, and you write 0. Guts, if you are having guts, you have knowing and nothing but then we are having guts to do anything. This is what 3. Competition, you like competition, you are not afraid of competition, you are open with new ideas. So I hope that this is the second exercise you can ask your trainees to complete, in which they have to write only the marking of 0, 1, and 3, and they will be writing it in such a way that they are good in agenda or data or emotion with the ranking of 0, 1, and 3. Please ask them again and again to be honest with themselves, answering this particular question. If they will be able to do it, then please try to understand this particular theory. This particular theory, many of you might be knowing it, is given by Albert de Bono, my favorite management thinker. This thinking is not very unique to India, because in India we were already having through the aura science that human beings are having 7 kind of thinking heads, thinking level. But what Albert de Bono said, according to the Albert de Bono and his book Six Thinking Heads, what he says that all the human beings, please listen to me carefully, all the human beings are having at least one thinking heads out of 6 colors, as shown it here. There are total 6 thinking heads of color blue, white, red, black, yellow, and green. And all the human beings are wearing at least one kind of hat. मतलब एक ना एक तो पहन ही रखी है, maybe more than one, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe all 6. Right? And through psychological tools, we can understand. Psychological tools means through some activities or through questionnaires, we try to understand that what kind of thinking hat you are wearing or anyone is wearing. This is what individual focused thinking. Right? So those thinkings are number 1, blue, as you can go through process control. One who is good in process control. Neutrality, you are not able to say what is right or what is wrong, but you are good in giving data. What happened at that time? What happened at this time? What is happening at this time? Feeling of fear. Feeling means if this is going to be there, it is right. But if it will not happen, then what will happen? If I will be selected in this particular examination, it is fine. But if I will not be selected, then what will happen? If you are having this kind of feeling, you are having a red kind of hat wearing. Negative thinking. Whatever positive environment is there, you are always there to put out only negative things. This is what black thinking you are wearing. Yellow thinking. Even the positions when the things are not in your favor, you are always thinking about the positive point. This is what the yellow thinking. And the last one is the creative thinking. When you can think more and more, when you are proactive to think about it, when you are ready to investigate something, you are having a green kind of hat with you. For more information, please go through with the Albert de Bono book, Six Thinking Head, and you will come to know many things in this particular factors. But again, I'm saying that in India, this thinking it is not new. It was already there. When I go through some of the books which were written in the year 1180 or 1280, or at the time of Sant Gyaneshwar ji, many things which are related with at that time, which were clearly mentioning that there were already 7 kind of things in which was very much related with the meditation kind of thing or yoga kind of thing. I'm not saying that it is new to India, but important part is this, that out of all those 6 thinkings, for success, what is important? Which thinking is important? Please remember my term. All of these 6 thinkings are important. Even that thinking is also very important. Feeling, that thinking is also very important. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you will have to check that you or in your team, you are not missing any head. This is the first check of any business idea. Right? I hope this is clear to you. And if you understand these thinkings, which I tried to explain you in the best possible way in the limited time. So individual thinking, unless it is not passing through a group thinking, in that particular group, all the 6 heads should be present. If one person as a mentor, he is having all those 6 kind of thinkings, that is also fair enough. Right? And then after, whenever it actually penetrated through that particular group thinking, then only you try to understand that this particular business idea or your thinking is going in the right direction or not going in the right direction. Now, coming back to your activity number 1 and 2. In number 1 and 2, now blue kind of head is rated with agenda. Whatever marks you have written over there, 0, 1, or 3, write it here after agenda, after decision, after overview. That particular chart should come over here with marking, and then add it and try to finalize the best ranking of what you are getting. Either it is a blue kind of hat you are wearing, or white kind of hat, or red kind of hat, or black kind of hat, yellow kind of hat, or green kind of hat. Write it over here. Highest marks you have received in say yellow, write down yellow as a first position and green as a second position. You write it over here. And when you mention it over here, going back to this particular slide, write it here. Know your dominating head. That is first, number yellow, and second, number green. And now you can check align with this problem statement. this problem is actually, you will be able to solve it as a problem founder fit, or you will not be able to solve it as a problem founder fit. That will come to know only after getting the check between these two exercises. So this activity 1A and this activity 1B is very important. Firstly, as soon you are going to move in to solve any kind of problem and you want to check your capability, that capability is linked with the problem or not, I will always suggest you to go through with this particular exercise. But the problem what I'm facing is this, that people, they don't try to give correct answer in this particular. Why they are not able to give the correct answer? Either they are not understanding these words properly, or they are hesitant to give you right answer. If this is happening, again the problem will come. Therefore, you will have to honest yourself. Understand what you will have to understand. Please understand your qualities, your characteristics, your achievements, and your satisfaction level. Understand it. We will have again a different kind of other activity with this, which will give you more idea about this particular thinking part. Now, if you are done with this particular thing, please come to the basics of the design thinking. Basics of the design thinking, the first part is observe. Don't speak, observe first. Then empathize, empathy. Put yourself in that particular person or that particular situation, and what will you have been done at that time. First thing is this, and observe it. Any problem is happening, observe it. Many problems are happening there, observe it. Put yourself in that particular situation. Empathize it. When you will empathize it, then only you will be able to define it properly. Remember what I'm saying. Define it properly. Define it properly. Anyone can define anything, but define it properly. Define it properly is happening only when you are putting yourself in that particular situation. Right? Any good speaker, any good teacher is a very good teacher. Why? Because he has gone through those situations. Unless he has not gone through that particular situation, he will never be able to explain it. Any person who is a failure, who is a failed entrepreneur, can only tell you, can only teach you what to do not to fail in the entrepreneurial journey. Any person who has not been selected in IAS examination may become a very good coach, may become a very good teacher. I'm not saying that always be, but maybe. Why? Because he is understanding what to do and what not to do. So therefore, whenever you actually define any definition on the parameter of if and only if, I hope some of you might be knowing about IFF, if and only if, right? Then after, when you define it, then only you can generate some idea within you. But please remember, idea will come to you only with a proper amalgamation of attitude and aptitude. Please remember it. Actually coming to the design thinking will not give you any result. You will have to understand the fundamentals first. Right? And when you are able to generate some idea, make a prototype of it. Proof of concept, proof of value. Make a prototype of it. Make a first product of it. If it is a service-oriented product, make a first service of it. If it's a design, make a first design. And when you do it, then implement it and test it in the market and try to finalize. And when you will test it, it is known as what the minimum viable product. And you say that now it is ready to serve first group of customers. So therefore, now link it. How will you observe any problem? Once you are having a mind. What mind is having? Cognitive thinking. How will you empathize this? Because you are living in a society. You understand. You will define it for what? For a problem statement. What is the problem you are going to solve? You know, at the highest to highest level, whenever we deal with number of entrepreneurs, number of promoters, we as a advisors, or we as a observers, we go there and we try to understand only this thing, that promoters are actually understanding what problem they are solving or not. Or after 2 years, or after the mission period, after the strategy intent time, we will only recall that what the mistake they have done earlier in the early stage. Then innovation. Innovation will only give you some idea. Why innovation? You have not commercialized it yet, but you are thinking in the beginning that whether that will be able to be commercialized in the market or not. Then the development. For the development stage, you will go for the prototyping, and when you will implement it, that is what the testing part. So I hope this 6 is very important to you. This 6 as a seed and the impact factor. Both 12 factors I have tried to explain it to you. This is design thinking. Nothing is there beyond it. This is only design thinking. Although it was developed by some foreign companies, foreign people, but again, I'm saying, either you believe in Mahabharata or Ramayana, maybe it was a true stories, or maybe it was just the imagination part. In both ways, I'm 100% I can say, I vouch it, that we were having a design thinking. Maybe it was a true fact, maybe it was not a true fact. So therefore, what is design thinking? Is it is mentioned in the bottom of this particular slide. Method and mindset to define, number one, to frame, number two, and number three is what the solution to solve the problem. So everything is coming here. Define in the third point. Frame, it is coming in idea and prototype, and solve the problem that is coming in the testing part. But problem you will define, you will be able to define only if you are having very good observation and you are having the ability to emphasize yourself. Right now, this is a basic slide. Generally, it is shown in all the workshops of design thinking. I am also showing it. Viability related with business. Whatever you are doing, it should come in the crux, in the core of the intersection of these three parameters. Number one is the desirability. Humans should have desire of it. Means problem, they are facing it problem. They are aware about that particular problem. If they are not aware about that particular problem, you are able to tell them this is the problem. Then feasibility. Feasibility means what? Technically you will be able to give solution to this particular problem or not. If you say that you are able to give, then the next is what? The next is the viability. You will be able to introduce it in the market or not. If you think that this particular problem, I can do it, this is what the seed of innovation lies. In between the core, the crux of three different domain. One is desirability, number two is viability, number three is feasibility. So this is known as what the design principle. Whenever you go for observing, for emphasizing, for defining, for idea generation, for prototype, or for testing, in the mind it should be like this, that it is checked on the parameter of viability, on the parameter of desirability, or in the parameter of feasibility. Then only it will be sustainable. Otherwise, it will not be sustainable. I hope this is clear to you. Now coming to the spaces of design thinking. In the spaces of design thinking, again, I'm talking about the same thing, but here some different feeling you will get in some different explanation. Number one is the inspiration. From where you are getting inspiration? From the society, from the market. When something is not perfect, there's a possibility of design thinking. Perfect, 100% perfect. Quality, 100% quality. If you go, you buy any of your garment, any of your furniture for yourself, any problem you are finding, you are not getting a good hair designer, you are not getting anything, where there's a scope, you think that it is not perfect, there's the opportunity of design thinking. You can go and you can practice design thinking over there. Number two, ideation. What is ideation? Now you understand that this is the problem, so therefore it is coming as an idea to you. But if it is coming as an idea to you, you will have to check both ways: proof of concept, that is technical, and number two, proof of value, that you will be able to deliver value to your customer or not. What is value? I hope you all understand. It is benefit upon cost. This is what the ideation. If you are crossed through with the ideation, then after the last stage is implementation. You implement it into the market. In which the control is what? Control, compare, and evaluate. Control karo, then after compare karo with the previous product and the new product, and then after evaluate it. That what the response you are getting from the market, from the stakeholders. Then again go for the inspiration. It is a continuous process. It is a iterative process. Design thinking is a continuous process. And what will happen in the last? You will move towards perfect to perfect product. Right? This is what the spaces of design. So what we have done, we have understand what is design thinking. We have also understand what is the principle of design thinking and what is the space of design thinking. Then the same thing, design thinking process, it starts from inspiration, moving towards ideation. Number three is the implementation. And what is there in inspiration? Understand, observe, and proof of value. In ideation, we are having ideate, then prototype, then testing. And in the implementation, we are having storytelling, pilot, or business model. So there are how many factors? There are total 9 factors. And in those all 9 factors, I am repeating: understand, observe, proof of value, ideate, prototype, test or test, storytelling, pilot project, or pilot project means satisfaction of the first group of customers, and the business model. For all these 9, we can have number of activities. And in any design thinking workshop, you will have to go and conduct only activities depending upon these 9 factors. Activities on understanding, whether you are having proper understanding of the problem or not. Understanding about the observation, whether that you or particular child or particular trainee is having observation power or not. Number 3, proof of value, whether he is understanding that what the value is to be delivered to the customer at the end of the day or not. Ideate, you will be able to generate some idea or not. You will be able to make a prototype of it or not. You will be able to have a test by yourself, testing of a software just like that, of that or not. Storytelling, you will be able to tell that what is happening exactly. That is, you are having a feeling, you are having a personal interest intact with that particular problem. Pilot project, you are ready to conduct that particular pilot project or business model. In the last, that is what the business model is, published it. So these all are the 9 kind of activities you can conduct. What we have done, the activities that may be related with idea generation, observation, and understanding. What we have done in I1A and 1B. Now coming to learning and road ahead. If you want to learn and if you want to go for the road ahead, what is there? Number 1 is introduction of design thinking, what we have done. Number 2, design thinking process. Number 3, problem defined definition. Number 4 is refinement. Number 5 is prototyping, and number 6 is implementation. So starting from there, whenever we talk about the design thinking or DT in short, what we say that is starting from empathy and an understanding of human need. Right? So if this is the starting point of any design thinking DT, then introduction of design thinking is the first thing you will have to understand. This we have done completely. Number 2, design thinking process. I hope you understand the design thinking process. The design thinking process is inspiration, ideation, and then implementation. Out of each category, you can have a segregation in 3 parts. Then problem definition. Now onwards, you will have to understand the problem definition, for which we have done the exercise 1A and 1B. Now refinement means you are going to check that whether that particular problem definition is fine or not. Those who are a faculty member of strategic management, they can understand whenever we define vision, mission, and objective. After doing the complete environment analysis, we again try to check that whether that is the perfect mission, vision, and objectives or not. That means rechecking of your goals, rechecking of your target. When you have already done now your capabilities, now you understand the environment. And when you redefine it, then only you go for the prototyping, because in the prototyping, you are going to invest your money, your time, your resources. And when prototype is ready, then after you are going for the implementation. So this is design thinking, nothing else is there. Now IDEO. Without IDEO, we cannot complete the exercise of this design thinking. What is IDEO? I suggest you to kindly go through with this. IDEO is an international design and consulting firm headquartered in United States. IDEO is the combining from the 4 different companies in the year 1991, which were there in the design thinking. Which were those companies? As you can see, David Kelley, Mortgage Associates, San Francisco ID, and then Matrix Product Design. These 4 companies combined together, and then after they formed another firm, which is known as what? IDEO. Who was the father? Maybe say father of design thinking, David M. Kelley, on which the first company was formed, named as David Kelley Design. Now, this IDEO company is having offices in many countries. In India also, they're having their head office in Mumbai. Okay, so what this IDEO is coming, this is basically a consulting firm. They go to the different companies and they say that if you give us project, we can help you in developing design, in developing product, in developing process. So more about IDEO, please go through with this slide. Actually, it is not a theoretical part, but then to this story is necessary to understand design thinking. As you can see that notable examples of Apple first mouse, then Microsoft second mouse, then Palm Top, 5 PDA, Steelcase, Leap Chair. These all were the examples given by or done by IDEO as a consulting firm. Eli Lilly has done so many things. Ford has done so many things. Microsoft, PepsiCo, Procter & Gamble. Right? So these are something given by IDEO. Now activity number 2. It is very important only if you understand design thinking process very clearly from your mind and from your soul. What is this? You can ask your trainees to your participants to do this particular exercise, in which you need only one sheet of paper, or you paste it type of slips. You can ask them to write down who are you, who they are, what they do, what do you want to change, means what do they want to change, and what you expect from the society on the left hand side, and what you expect from your team on the right hand side. Now, from where this particular activity is linked, this activity 2 is linked with activity number 1. Okay, who you are is actually coming from what kind of hat you are wearing. That is 2B. What do you do? What exactly today what he is doing? That means what the education and qualification and experience they are having. They will have to write it here. I'm a good shoemaker. What I do? I'm a good shoemaker. What do you want to change? This is the problem statement, what they have written in first A. If that is aligned, if the person is changing, moving fast, from one idea to second idea to third idea to fourth idea, then you will have to understand it from this activity only. And when these things are mentioned by him, then after, what you expect from the society, that is what you expect from your external environment. And what you expect from your team, that is what you expect from your internal environment. If this particular chart is prepared in a very good way, from this holistic understanding, you will be able to have complete understanding of the mindset of the participants, and they will also know about each other, one another, right? And a very important part is again mentioned over here, that be honest with yourself while answering the questions these which are mentioned below. Now, when you understand, or when they understand that who they are, with a proper enunciation by you, when you enunciate them that what exactly it is, then they are having two choices. Number one, they want to have similar kind of people in their team, or they want to have different kind of people in their team. Now this is known as the formation of group. Now you are going to make some groups of say 4 people or 5 people or 2 or 6 among your participants whenever you will be conducting workshop on design thinking. Now, depending upon them, now you can have two type of exercises, one with similar kind of people and one with a different kind of people. If I am having a black kind of thinking, in my team some green, some yellow may come. But if I am having a blue kind of thinking head with me, I'm only collecting blue kind of anything. So both of that kind of exercises you can have. You can have a form of group. In one group you can have some kind of people, and second group you can have a second kind of people. But what I suggest you always, whenever you make it in the first time, try to make a different kind of people. Unless all kind of thinking heads are not present in your team, it will be difficult for you. Now, the next is the tower challenging. I explain you what if you have to do it here. This tower challenge, actually, when I was conducting classes in Miss Bird, I made all these 10 kind of exercises which we are generally conducting it at that time in the exercise of motivation, entrepreneurial motivation. And later I linked it with some exercises of design thinking. Tower making, what is required? Packets of the soft straws. Soft straws packets are required, staplers are required, scissors are required, and one board and marker is required for me as a trainer. One board and marker is required for me as a trainer. And then after I have made the teams, how I have made the teams, please understand it as a balanced scorecard. Balanced scorecard, if we align it everything in the business strategy, here also please align it. Team was made after knowing one another. Which exercise, who are you? It is done after knowing the head which they are wearing. How it has been made after knowing the problem what they are facing. You will have to check that everything is aligned or not. Then only you will have a very good exercise, very good training program. Otherwise, might not be possible. Understanding from you have to go inside the brain, inside the mind of your participant, then try to understand what they are thinking. Right? Otherwise, it will not be pragmatic. So therefore, what is required? Packets of soft straw. Soft straw, I hope you understand. Give them it as a raw material. Supply them suppliers and one scissor, one stapler and one scissor as a machinery and equipments. And in the whiteboard, what you will have to do, you will have to give some idea to them or to evaluate them. What you will have to do, you will have to ask them to make some tower. Make tower with the help of stapler. Joining one straw, second straw, third straw. Someone will make like this structure. Some team will make like this structure. Some team will make like this structure. In different countries, in Germany or UK, they take some other kind of products. But here, as straws and these materials are very easily available, we conduct it in this way. Otherwise, mesh kind of straws are there in their countries, and we conduct it and that from that raw materials. So now when you do it, then what is have to do? You will have to tell all the team members that I will have to mark tallest to the tallest, I will rate it 1. If there are six teams, we will make rating from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If there are 3 teams, I will make it 2, 1, 0. If there are 7 teams, I will make 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Means what I mean to say that which one is the tallest one, that will get rating of 5. Next one, I will give rating of 4. Next one is below that, rating of 3. Below that, rating of 2. Below that, rating of 1. Below that, rating of 0. Then strength, I will go and check their strength. Highest strength 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Which is the beautiful one? I will again give. These are the 3 parameters on which you can evaluate their power. That is their growth activity. That is their ice breaking activity. Right? And then after measure it. What the problem you may face, that you may find that 2 towers are having similar kind of height or tall, similar kind of height. If they are similar kind of height and you are not able to give them rating of 3 or 2, then make them both 3. Make them both 3. If you are having confusion between 3 to 2, make them both 3. But in that case, 2 will not come. Then next one will come as 1. Right? 5 will come, 4 will come, 3 and 2, they were having similar kind of height, make them 3. Then 2 will not come, 1 will come, 0 will come. And then again 1 and 0 are similar, make them both 1, 0 will not come. And then add it. And add them, and then after you can total it. You can give them some prize. You can also give some gifts to them. But what is the basic understanding? Basic understanding is this. Please go through with the objective. Objective is to understand their creative thinking. Their behavior under pressure and pressure of time. Behavior of pressure type impulsive, attitude and aptitude, understanding upon the design. So this is what you can do such kind of exercises. Then now coming back to the design thinking, empathy, what you have done, define you have done, ideate you have done, prototype you have done, and then the testing also you have done. So you will have to recall all these 5 parameters, right? And again, one more slide in this, that is discovery, interpretation, ideation, experiment, and evaluation, which is 100% linked with this, and that can be done with this particular exercise, right? If you understand this empathy, you understand the meaning of definition, ideation, prototype, testing, you understand the discovery and interpretation, ideation, experiment, evaluation, then the next exercise comes with the prototyping and the learning. In the prototyping of the learning, there are so many ways, depending upon the crowd you are going to have. You can ask them to make any kind of new design, problem solving skill, idea generation, and ability, what you are going to check in this particular exercise. You can ask them to show their prototype in A3 kind of sheet. A3 kind of sheet means the double of A4 sheet. You can ask them to design a vase or to design a bottle. Any 3D model. 3D model may be in the paint, if you are using the paint in the Windows 10. Maybe any mud or clay, you can make some, mitti ke khilone, clay toys. Any cloth design, you can ask them to make. Website or UI, user interface, you can ask them to make whatever is there in your mind. What, depending upon the crowd, what the crowd is. If they are good, if you are going to conduct this workshop in the automobile industry, you can ask them to make something on AutoCAD, or you can ask them to make something on the hardware. That take these things. You can take some toys also. Lego ke kuch le liya. Lego can make a design, a new thing. I will try to understand your understanding and your creativity after this particular exercise. So you can do it, and what the result you can get depending upon so many results you can have, that we will be seeing in this slide. From this slide we will see. But before that, you go to the slide, a small understanding of double diamond concept you will have to understand. Double diamond concept is very important in design thinking. It is the soul of a design thinking. Why it is a soul? Your crowd should understand what the problem they are going to solve and how they are going to solve this problem. So first diamond is for understanding the problem, and second diamond is for solving the problem. And in both kind of problems, please try to understand. One is diverse, and the second one is converse. diverse, and then converse. Diverse. When you say diverse, what kind of thinking is required over there? Horizontal. And when you say converse, what kind of thinking is required over there? Vertical. Right? Then this is required in understanding the problem also, in solving the problem also. When you are going through with that particular problem, when you understand this problem is there in the society, when you are having empathy, you are going and put yourself in that particular situation. First of all, you are going to diverse it. Diverse it means you are learning yourself that what is actually happening in the environment, and after converse it. And when you will converge, you will reach to one problem statement. With that problem, now go to the market. Then again, find the solution. Again, you will have to diverse, understand the market. Then converge it to reach problematical solution. First is diverse, second one is converge. If I go back to the slides which I have shown it to you. Okay, here what we were talking about, discover an idea or develop an idea. Or here what we are talking about, the horizontal thinking or vertical thinking. What we are doing here, although vertical thinking in human being that is developed first, and then after horizontal thinking basically is developed. But here in this particular exercise, you will have to develop, first you will have to develop the horizontal thinking, then after you will have to go to the vertical thinking. Ma'am, am I having some time now? Actually, I am not having both, and in this. Ma'am, you are muted.
Yes, yes. Sir, I think in another 2 minutes, we try
Okay,
to wind up and take up few questions.
okay.
And if they are there, we'll just try to wind
Sure,
up.
ma'am. So, as the time is now limited by 2 minutes, in the ambit of that particular time, I will try to understand it. So now this divergent and convergence, this theory is from the starting from the empathizing, and after defining ideation, prototyping, and testing, you can understand when you actually go through with a problem, you will have to go for the empathizing. For that, diversion is required. Then after, when you will converge it, you will go and get the definition of the problem. Then ideation is in between first diamond to the second diamond. Then in prototyping, you are having a diverse, and again you are going to have a converse. What kind of problems they can make, what kind of design they can make. They can miss your any make have any kind of such kind of examples. And we are doing it in design thinking. We are doing it. So now in the next do it now, you can ask them to do it. Then after so many things are there, but this is, I hope this is somewhat essence now you are having about the thinking part, about the design thinking part. I've tried my best to explain you within this particular limited time. And then after, again, if you want to conduct such kind of design thinking in your colleges, you can contact Anveshan Foundation. In 1 minute, I want to explain you about the Anveshan Foundation. Anveshan Foundation is the incubation center. It has been promoted by our university, Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University. We are facilitating budding entrepreneurs to start their own ventures. We are helping them to all possible ways. I'm repeating, all possible ways. And we are also open to have collaboration with other incubation centers or other institutes, colleges, and universities. If you are having your incubation center or if you are having your e-cell, we will be happy to facilitate you also in any kind of training programs or boot camps, or giving some idea generation to your startups, entertaining them. If they want to start their own companies, we can also link them to different people who are there in the ecosystem. So please don't hesitate to contact us. My contact email ID is ceoincubation@igd2w.ac.in. Our website you can go through with innovationfoundation.org. So now, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me.
Yes, dear participants, this is now the forum is open for questions. Dr. Arora had in a very beautiful way with very self-explanatory slides, he has explained us what is the gist of design thinking, what is the basics of design thinking, and of course, he just emphasized, our own human thinking. It matters and it depends on a lot of factors. Then talking about what is developing idea, discovering idea, the attitude and aptitude that builds up one's behavior and personality. It was so engrossing, to listen to you, sir, about all the six color hats. That was so, fascinating to understand. And the exercises you have just briefed about, which the participants can take over, in their own institutes and the forums where they can conduct certain, these activities to understand more about the critical design thinking, the double diamond concept of understanding and solving. So yes, I would like to say Dr. V.K. Arora has been pioneer in this Innovation Foundation since its inception at IGDTUW. And successfully, we are having, so how many startups are there which are actually ongoing?
Total 15 startups are there.
Total 15
Right.
startups are doing wonderful under the guidance of Dr. V.K. Arora in Innovation Foundation. And being a women university, we look forward to startup ideas from women entrepreneurs, which then Dr. V.K. Arora suggests and just guides them through so that they see the light of the day and do better in the competitive world. So I'll just see if there are some questions in the chat box, sir. So yes, sir, I'll just take one question. Can we apply design thinking in our normal everyday life, or is this useful only for entrepreneurs only?
Yes, you can apply design thinking in anywhere you can apply in design thinking. What the design thinking is saying, the design thinking is saying that it is a method and mindset to define, frame, and solve problem. Wherever you are finding a problem, you can use it. Maybe in product, maybe in process, maybe in design. Not only in this, but in any psychological problem also, in the behavior science also, within your family members also, you can apply design thinking. If your kid is not studying, he is showing them different kind of passion, there also you can use some kind of design thinking. You can understand how you have to deal to them, what kind of exercises you will have to go to conduct with them. If he is engaged in such kind of video games, there also you can have a design thinking. So therefore, please understand, design thinking is only the method and mindset to define, frame, and solve the problem. Any problem you are facing that this is a problem in today's time, maybe that problem is not a problem maybe after 10 years, and maybe 20 years before that problem was not there. As I've already told you, I have defined you from the last 5,000 years that how the mindset has been changed. So therefore, in the current situation, whatever the problem you are facing, you want to change the problem, you want to get a solution for it, you can use the design thinking. But yes, this is also a fact that in today's time, design thinking has been evolved as a very important tool in development of the entrepreneurial thinking. In entrepreneurial thinking, why? Because here very much it is linked with the problem, understand the problem, provide the solution to that particular problem, and come to the final saying that this problem has been solved now. So this is, I hope that I have explained your answer.
Yes, sir. So I'll just take the second question. Yes, it is, sir. How attitude will be improved? How can one improve the attitude of a person?
Improve, na ma'am, improve.
Yes, improve.
Improve. Attitude, what we have seen that it is very difficult to change the attitude, and especially after the age of 35, according to the science, psychological science, it is said that it is very difficult to change attitude. What I'm talking about, the attitude you can change, but attitude change tonight is not very easy, and definitely it is a part of a behavior and personality. Whenever I meet to my engineering graduates, it is those who have done engineering with me, a common sense which is generally evolved that Amit has not changed at all, yeah, as he was there now in the engineering time. After 50 years or after 45 years or 44 years, he's also talking like that only. Although he's working in a very good multinational company, he's getting very good salary of 4 lakhs rupees or 5 lakh rupees per month. But then too, he has not been changed. Why? Because that attitude is very difficult to change. And unless the person is not allowing you, don't try to say that his attitude or attitude is not good. Okay, attitude you can learn only by if you do some mistake and you realize that that mistake you have done, and only after you can have a change in you.
And so just correlated, then that along with attitude, it is saying, does attitude depend upon genetic factors also?
See, sir, that is why, sir, I have separated it. I have told you in the beginning also that if I will talk more about it, you may throw so many stones on me. Sir, I don't believe in soul science or genetic science. But then too, yeah, that is why, in the green color, I have mentioned separately that biological
sir,
RNA.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. This is also just related to this attitude and genetic factors. One of the participants has written the biological, it is based on DNA. And so you have written in biological in bracket RNA. So could you just
Oh,
differentiate?
sorry. Yeah, sorry. It was written. Actually, I just made these slides
Okay, so it's actually DNA. So it is a typo
wrongly
error.
mentioned. Yeah,
Typo error.
please make it DNA. Yeah,
Yes. So it is DNA, dear.
DNA. Yeah,
And
DNA.
and then attitude we were talking about, does it depend upon the genetic factors?
Yeah, it depends upon the genetic factor, but when you try to understand it from the crux, from the nutshell, na, please make it separately. Please make it separately, because attitude, if my son is born, but has been developed with some other family, that attitude will come into that particular person. But because since it is linked with the DNA of my family, somewhere in the intuition or in the impulsive way, that will also thinking. So what is important here to separate it? Because attitude is developing from the age 2 till 18 in most of the way, whereas DNA is somewhere in between -1 to +2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'll just take one maybe last question. There's so many coming up. Does conceptual intelligence should be given more importance than the other two? One that is multiple and focused intelligence.
See, it now depends upon this, that what is your level of satisfaction, what is the success in your parameter. If you want to understand the world, if you want to understand the mystery of God, if you want to understand more and more, if you want to develop yourself in totally different way, it is good to understand about the conceptual intelligence, because only after conceptual intelligence you can move towards self actualization. Okay, but many of the people, we find that they are satisfied with the third level of Maslow motivational theory, or maybe fourth level of Maslow theory. So many people are not, it is not required to go for the conceptual type of intelligence. See, in a regular time of your business or job, if you are an assistant professor, you are a professor, you are working in so many activities, in research activities, or maybe in activities which are given by your head of your institute of your university. You have indulged yourself so much that you are not able to understand that what is happening around. At that time, only after retirement, you will be able to understand, to develop your conceptual intelligence. Maybe because of the little time. So that is why, if you want to develop some self-actualization, if you want to make yourself happy from the inner conscious, you want to go for the meditation. If you say that, sir, I want to do meditation, but with the less time which is given to me by my family or maybe by my job, I'm not able to do meditation, then this is a correct fact. I'm not saying that in 10 minutes or 15 minutes you will be able to touch, you will be able to understand your soul. So it needs time also. Practice, what I have told you, that learning and practice, it is very important. So for conceptual intelligence, depending upon your satisfaction level or your target, if you want to achieve it, conceptual level is important. But trust me, if you start doing it, automatically it is developed. That is why our human mind is set in that way only, maybe by the nature, maybe by the God.
So just a brief on these last question and we'll wind up the session. Can design thinking be correlated to operations research? And please give a comment on that.
See, in the operation research, if you are saying about, say, if you are talking about the transportation, if you are talking about the transportation, in transportation, number of sources are there, number of destinations are there. So if you want to correlate at what sources are where, you should say, if you are having a, say, company which is making POY or PFA, now you want to have some warehouse of these kind of companies in transportation, and you want to find out that which are the best locations to satisfy your maximum number of destinations, that is maximum number of clients. Then to design thinking is very important. Although you can do it from the theory of transportation or linear programming, but then too, in such case, you will find, and design thinking is very important, right? So design thinking is not only utilized in process, in product, it is also used in process. How it is related? Try to find out the problem. Go to the individual client and understand what the problem is there. Try to put yourself, empathize yourself with that particular problem. Come to the society, understand it. So my answer is this: that yes, you can use in operation part also. In such kind of operation research also, you can make design thinking as a tool, and you can develop it. In many books in research, in many research journals, I find it that this design thinking concept they are using in different type of functional areas of management, in marketing, in HR, in anywhere, in balance scorecard, in any kind of corporate level or function level or business level of this.
So we'll try to stop here because we are just running short of time, and we have to take a break so that we start with the next session soon.
And
so I take this opportunity to thank Dr. B.K. Arora.
I also want to thank my audio participants. Thank you.
It was a very exhaustive session, and in this time frame of 1.5 hours, you told us about so many things, and the activities all related to design thinking, and each one has can be conducted a session on its own. So that was very good to give us such a lot of inputs related to this design thinking. On behalf of the organizing team of ROAD, Atal FDP, I thank you for conducting this session, and I thank you all the participants for attending the session. We take a break now, and the break is from 12:30 to 1:30, and we have a next session from 1:30 onwards.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, dear all.